What is your American dream?
I come from Myanmar. The American dream to me is to be able to start my own business one day.
I am from Texas. My family is from Guatemala. My American dream is pursuing happiness while also having stability.
I'm from Connecticut. My American dream is to fight for justice and to scream for the voiceless.
I'm from the former Soviet Union, which is now known as Russia. The American dream to me, despite being an immigrant, means to give the opportunities and dreams to my children the same way that my family gave to me.
I'm from China. My American dream is to be a fashion designer in New York because I love fashion so much.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Extra, extra, read all about it. Brad Show Live, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live. Hi, I'm the mascot for the Brad Show Live. Do you have an immigration question? Do you have a question about immigration? Brad Show Live on Facebook. We have a great show. Hello. It's really good. It's on Facebook. It's about immigration, and I'm the mascot.
What is he, a squirrel?
I am in the squirrel family, but I'm a groundhog. Oh, hello. Oh.
You love it.
Oh. Get all your immigration questions answered for free by immigration law guru Brad Bernstein. Oh, hello, Brad Show Live squad. Did you miss yesterday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, Maria Jose Ovalle appeared on our show. She's a social media influencer with a YouTube channel titled La Chilena Gringa. She's a mother of 3, and she's hilarious, and she makes short-form videos talking about her life as a Chilena woman living in the United States. And we had a bit of an audio glitch, and Groundhog Sam was blamed, and I admit it, it was my fault. Oh, spaghetti! This tastes funny. Uh-oh. I saw those wires, and I thought it was spaghetti. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better to make up for it. I'm out here handing out flyers and letting everyone know about our great show. I hope you have a great time watching us today. Get ready. What's on today's episode? Well, you'll have to watch and see. Come for the immigration. Stay for the fun.
All right, welcome to Groundhog Sam's show.
Yeah.
Right, it's turning into Groundhog Sam.
That was hilarious.
Groundhog Sam, the best comedian on the show.
With
by
special
far.
guests.
What?
With
With special guests
Right.
by Brad, Belgium Kim, and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Wow.
Yes, chewing on the wires.
Chewing on the wires. No wonder.
Yeah, no
He
wonder.
had a spaghetti. It was an innocent mistake. Oh.
Or was it?
He sabotages.
Right.
Well,
Sheesh.
welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Jonathan,
Thank
coming in
you.
last second in the
Last
rain.
second. Y'all don't even understand what I went through the past, 30 minutes. It was crazy.
I don't understand.
You don't. It's raining like crazy. I lost my phone outside. I was running back and forth. My blazer is soaked. My curls are running. It's just a lot going on.
How did you lose your phone outside?
So because I don't have my umbrella, I didn't know it was supposed to rain like that. So I was running from the train to the office, and I put it in my back pocket, and it just fell out.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's
horrible.
That's more of a damn.
That was a damn.
Damn.
That one hurt.
That hurts.
But I found it, y'all.
You did?
Yeah.
So that's why you were late. You went back and traced. You went back and
My
traced.
ID, my credit cards, everything is in the back of my phone
and you
case.
got it back.
I got it back. Thank
All
you,
right.
Lord Jesus.
Wow.
Woo!
Woo!
Looking out for your boy.
1 second to spare.
Listen, and I'm here on time.
I love it.
He got here literally on yo-yo time. I mean, that was some yo-yo time there, all right? We thought we were going to start without you.
No, I'm not going to let that happen.
Right, and then we didn't know it because we said, you know what, you're always on time.
Right.
And then, and you're...
And then I usually at least call or text.
Yeah, you're professional. So we said, oh my God, maybe he's dead.
Oh, no.
Right. I said, maybe immigration got him. Nope, he's a citizen. We were going through every possibility.
And
we
losing my
couldn't-
phone
and
wasn't
was
one
not.
of
It
them.
was not in the top 100. Right. We said he generally answers his phone.
Yeah.
I said maybe the cops got him.
Ooh, that would have been bad.
Maybe immigration's
That'd
got
be
him.
all bad.
Maybe ICE got him.
Let's not put that in the air.
That's immediate lawyer thinking.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I
we
was
were like,
thinking.
maybe
This is
he
a
died.
case. That's what Brad was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a case,
There's
guys.
a case.
We got this.
He's missing. How do we make money on this?
All right, let's get the TV van.
And by the way, on Brad Show Live, I want to welcome all of our Brad squad: Dionne Watson, Reginald Amata, Patrona Collins, Kirk Brown says hello, Barbara Lord says hello to everybody. Kirk Brown says remember to share. Thank you very much,
Yes,
Kirk.
nice.
Tanisha McNabb, hello Brad squad. Guess who is early today? Tanisha, welcome for being early.
Hey.
Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Hello, hello, hello. And who else we have to say? Jella Shauna, always saying hello. Tamika Nelson, hey y'all. We missed you in the second half of the show yesterday, Tamika. Don't say we didn't notice.
We shouted you out.
Jackie Everblessed Harner. I have time today to watch. That's fantastic. Hope you have time every day. You're always welcome here, Jackie. And who else we got here? Cece Mitchell says hello to everybody. Groundhog Sam, always getting in. Always getting in. Marjorie Thompson says, hey, Brad, Kim, Yo-Yo, and the entire squad. Princess Martin Uniqueness just says, hi, Groundhog.
Oh.
Hi, Groundhog. Mr. Groundhog.
Mr. Groundhog,
Yes,
that is.
Patrona Collins. Oh, Groundhog, I agree. You work so hard in the evening. People are agreeing with what is in essence a doll. Now.
Uh-oh. He's not happy about
He's not
that.
happy about that.
That is
All
not.
right, sorry, Sam. All right, you're not a doll, even though you are, right? Is he or is he not a doll?
Well,
he is a doll.
He's
a
a
doll,
doll. He's
but
a
not
doll,
a
but not
doll.
a doll.
Not a doll. He's a doll.
He's a doll.
Like, hey, doll.
Like, hey, doll.
Right.
I got you.
You got me right. Tamika Nelson and who else we got? Anybody else here?
Well, I would be remiss
Marsha
not to say
Whitaker, hello, Brad Squad.
David Gabriel.
David Gabriel, that's
Oh,
your
yeah.
new
Yeah.
boyfriend. Lovely dress, Sam. He's commenting on Sam's dress. Was Sam wearing a dress?
I didn't feel
I
it
didn't
was.
feel
think
that
he
Sam was
was.
wearing
But
a
I'm
dress.
gonna go ahead and say
Chin
thank
Carter,
you.
hello, hello. We may have to go back and look again to see. Stacey Ann Hodge says hello. And, wow, a lot of people making comments here right now. Velma Gale joining the conversation late.
Yeah.
And Ma Dukes.
Dukes is in the building.
Right.
And we got lots of new people too.
Who are the new people?
Well, like Esther Queen on Spar Bernstein, Delmina Lewis is new, Lolette Castro. I mean, we have the regulars. We've got Lisa Bling Rose, we've got Dawn Harriet in the building. Marb White, brand new, coming in right out the gate with a question.
That's good.
Venice McFarlane. Is that Venice or Venice, you think?
Venice.
Venice.
I would say it's Venice, if I had to take a guess.
Super
Wow.
wild guess. That's where you would go?
If I would, if I had to bet, I say it's
I would've
Venice.
said
not-
Venice.
You think it's Venice?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Venus.
Venus.
Oh, that
Could
would
be Venus
they
also.
can't spell that like the city, though.
It could be
So you
Venus
gotta
also.
Venus.
Could be
Williams,
Venetia. Could be a
Serena.
lot. But anyway, everybody, I don't know. Anyway, right now,
never
our
know.
lines are open, so if you call, we will get your immigration questions answered in about 14 minutes from now. We're going to be taking all of your immigration questions. So if you call right now, 1-800-529-5465. I, Brad Bernstein, the managing partner here at Spar Bernstein, the guy who's been doing this for like 20 years already. I'm looking at the... finally, when I was about to turn, the guy who's been doing this for like 20 years will be answering all your immigration questions, but you got to call 1-800-529-5465. The other thing is I have to absolutely agree with Kirk Brown, who right in the beginning says share, 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 share. And if you don't share, we can't help as many people as we want. So please share this with your friends and family. There's always more shares. You know, Lisa Bling Rose, is not, completely wrong. There's always more sharing on Brad Show Live than on the Facebook page of Brad Show Live than there is on the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. As a matter of fact, Lisa Bling Rose, I don't see her in the comments yet.
She's been in
She's
there.
there?
She's
She's
in
there?
Spar Bernstein,
Okay, she was right yesterday. She said, hey, Spar and Bernstein group, wake up, you're fast asleep. So I'm expecting a lot more from the Law Offices of Spar Bernstein
Lisa,
page today
we
in the
deem you
sharing department.
Captain. She's the captain.
She is the captain there.
Wow.
Someone's got to be the captain.
Whip them into shape.
Calling him out. First thing, Brad.
I am
like
calling
it.
them out.
I like it.
I am calling them out. So, so please, everybody, share with your friends and family. And in all reality, if you do share with your friends and family, we'll be able to help as many people and let them know that I will be answering their immigration questions and your immigration questions at 6 o'clock. And if you have to call right now, if you have to call, you should right now, because we have 11 open lines. And they do generally get filled fast, but if you call now, I definitely promise you that you will be in line to speak with me so I can help you. All right, while we're waiting for the phone lines to heat up, Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, Donald Trump can put away his Nobel Peace Prize, at least for today.
Oh man, he can stop writing that speech.
They were all ready to give him. The Nobel Peace Prize for peace between North Korea and South Korea. They haven't even met yet. The meeting's in May. And Donald Trump decided to have some war games right on the border of North Korea. And now Rocket Man has said the talks are off.
Wow.
So I don't know. Oh, it's supposed to be meeting on June 12th. So hopefully Rocket Man and the Orange Man will be able to face off on June 12th. That is some haircut on Rocket Man.
That is.
I am not sure who his barber is.
Ooh.
I am not sure who Rocket Man's barber is. I am also not sure who has a worse haircut. Is the worst haircut go to Rocket Man or Orange Man?
I'm not
well,
gonna lie.
that's the South Korean guy. He's
the
not
left.
bad. I think he has the best haircut of everybody.
Of the three of them,
Of the three. But can you imagine? Can you imagine on June 12th? It's not only a peace conference. It's not only the battle between North and South. It's the hair off. The battle of the barbers. Okay.
Of the barbers.
You know what? And the loser has to have the other guy cut his hair off. You know, like one of those, like one of them comes off shaved or something. Here they are. Who has? I wish we could do a poll. Are we able to do a poll on who has the worst haircut of all time? Is it Kim Jong-un? Wouldn't that be a great poll?
That would be a great poll.
Can you set that poll up, Belgium
Absolutely.
Kim? All right, can we take a poll? Who has the worst haircut? We don't even know now. We don't even know now if the two haircuts are actually going to meet, because Orange Dude is started to have war games a month before the peace process.
Golly.
Boy, that made a lot of sense there. Meanwhile, while he's having war games, Melania Trump, she's very well liked. DT is not well liked, but Melania, people love Melania.
Yeah.
I think because they feel bad for her.
I was just about to say, she's a
I
prisoner.
think she's like almost like they feel bad for her. This poor woman is married to this guy.
She didn't know what she was getting herself into.
And she doesn't talk at all.
Right.
So because nobody hears from her, and only see, we've never heard her talk in a year and a half. Okay, so nobody hears from her. They only see a picture of her, and then they hear all these horrible things that Donald Trump screws all these women behind her back, and screwed some porn star while she was pregnant with Barron. So people
they feel bad for her.
People are being very sympathetic and feel bad for her. My concern is that when she opens up her mouth and starts talking, the sympathy will go away for her. So I think that she should just be quiet and just, because it's working for her. It's working for her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
and she's fly as hell. She be wearing
you like
dress.
her.
She's
You like
fly.
her. You like her.
She wears them dresses, them jackets. Like she's real stylish. So people like that.
Do you think that she married Donald Trump for his sterling personality?
No.
Oh, obviously.
Why do you think Belgium Kim would be the reason why this beautiful woman would marry such a horrendous monster?
Oh.
I mean, when you think about
Stormy
it,
Daniels slept with him.
right? When you think about it, I mean, would you say that money entered into the equation?
Oh, not at all. I'm sure he's a fantastic date.
Right.
I'm sure he's
so I mean, money
date.
did not. So when you start thinking about the reasons why she married him, you make a deal with the devil, and that's what you get.
Right.
So I am not as sympathetic for her as many others. Although I do feel bad, she is having kidney surgery, and I don't wish any harm on her.
Right.
And nobody wants to, have her go through any surgery. Trump tweeted for the kidney surgery, heading over to Walter Reed Medical Center to see our great First Lady Melania. Successful procedure. She's in good spirits. I also read somewhere that Melania is the fastest growing name for girls in 2018.
It's a good name. It's a pretty name.
It is a pretty name, and then people think about Melania. She's a pretty woman. And but you know what? She made the deal with the devil, so
she did.
You know, she took the money, and you got to get everything that goes with it.
Yeah,
she knew what she was getting into.
I don't think she knew she was getting into being the first lady, though.
Absolutely
I don't think she expected that.
Absolutely not.
That she didn't know.
No one expected her to be first lady.
Yeah. So last week, talking about Donald Trump, his chief of staff, John Kelly, spoke to National Public Radio. And he said on National Public Radio, I'm going to quote this, and then tell me what you think about this. Okay? He said, "Let me step back and tell you that the vast majority of the people that move illegally into the United States are not bad people. They're not criminals, they're not MS-13, but they're also not people that would easily assimilate into the United States, into our modern society. They're overwhelmingly rural people. In the countries they come from, 4th, 5th, 6th grade educations are kind of the norm. They don't speak English, obviously. That's a big thing. They don't integrate well. They don't have skills. That's why we don't want them." Jonathan.
Yes.
I will tell you what the internet came back with.
Okay.
Okay, the internet came back with, you know, hashtag Hey John Kelly, hashtag resistance genealogy. So people are smart on the internet.
Yes.
And they started looking into the genealogy of John Kelly, the person who is the chief of staff of President Donald Trump. And this is what they found out about him. Okay? His great-grandfather and his maternal grandmother, Teresa, came to the United States in 1900 as children. Okay? Her father was a day laborer named John DeMarco, and he was here for 18 years. He had never become a citizen. He could not read, write, or speak English. And then he brought over the rest of the family. So John Kelly's original great-grandparents came here, not able to speak English, and was a day laborer with no education, and then used that relationship to bring over all of the other brothers and sisters. Can we say hashtag hypocrite?
Absolutely.
Because here he is, 3 generations later, saying, we don't want the thing that got me and my family here, and now I am this close to the President of the United States. I'm his right-hand man, and we don't want people who came here like my grandparents.
Wow. You know, it's so easy to say when you think it doesn't have anything to do with you, you know? And just the line where he said that they have no skills. Like, America was basically built off of immigrants. Like, what are you talking about? They have no skills. And, you know, language is, you learn language. All of the, most of the immigrants that come here, especially not knowing English, they're probably one of the fastest learners when it comes to linguistics. My mom knows 6 languages.
1 second here, 100 years ago, okay, the other side of John Kelly's family. That was all, I only talked about one side of his family.
Wow, that's one side.
Okay, journalist Jennifer Mendelsohn tweeted, quote, "Deep dive, but here in the 1910 census showing John Kelly's grandfather, Giuseppe Pedalino, and his second wife, Concita. He was a wagon driver. She was illiterate and could not speak English 10 years after their arrival to the United States of America. Yet he was able to, 3 generations later, look at what he's doing now. So, I mean, hashtag resistance. What about hashtag illiterate? Yeah. I mean, hypocrite, not illiterate.
Hypocrite. The truth is in the pudding.
Yeah, that's
so now what does he say? Does he say anything back? Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not. It shuts him up.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what a couple of people wrote on the internet here.
Okay.
A guy by the name of @Steve Patelli wrote, "My grandfather and grandmother came from a poor village in Italy. Neither had an education. My grandfather worked in a coal mine for 20 years, got black lung cancer, but he survived and started a small market in Philadelphia. My father is a medical doctor. My uncle is a PhD. I am a medical doctor."
There you go.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
Hands Hands shot first or hands hot first? I'm not sure.
Han shot first.
Han shot first.
Star Wars
First of all, I
reference.
love the hashtag Hey John Kelly.
Yes.
Like, that's
I
a
like
great
that.
hashtag.
Oh, it's Han shot first.
Han shot first.
Oh, I thought it was hands hot first.
That was a whole different thing.
It sounded like some German guy. Hans hot first, but instead it is Han shot first.
Yes.
22 wrote, my great grandfather was an illiterate Genoan day laborer who came to America in 1879. His grandson was part of the Allied army that liberated Rome. And then Megan Smolniak wrote, hey, John Kelly, left pick. My great-granddad came in 1913 from rural Ukraine. 1940 alien registration form. Since he hadn't become a citizen, he was still illiterate. His grandson, my dad, served in Vietnam, and a few of his military honors in these pictures. Sorry, we did not assimilate.
Right.
All right.
Fighting for your country, but
So,
we don't assimilate.
So
Because we have no skills.
by the way, everybody on hold right now, please stay on hold. I'm going to be getting to all of your immigration questions in about 3 more minutes. We're going to be getting to all of your immigration questions. If you call, we still have a bunch of open lines. So if you do call, I promise you, I will go through every person who calls with their immigration questions right now. Not right now, in about 3 minutes from now, at 1-800-529-5465. Just one other weird thing I saw in the news. I have a lot more news here. We never get through all the news.
Ever.
We can keep
Okay,
it.
but one other weird thing I saw, 14 human feet from 7 different bodies mysteriously washed ashore on a beach in Canada.
What?
So people were freaking out that there was a mass murderer on the loose in British Columbia. A man was out for a Sunday afternoon stroll in British Columbia Beach when he made a gruesome discovery, a human foot. Then authorities came and found 14 more feet. Only feet.
Do they match?
What is this picture of?
One of them? Is that one of them?
That is a sneaker.
No way.
There's a foot inside
There's
the
a
sneaker.
foot inside the sneaker.
Yeah.
So now people were freaking out in British Columbia that there was a mass murderer on the loose. That's what you would think.
Right.
Or a bear was eating everybody.
Right.
And the bear didn't like feet. Those were the two biggest theories. A bear didn't like feet, or there was a mass murderer. Those were the two biggest theories out there.
Bear serial killer.
But apparently, in a shocking turn of events, Jonathan and Belgium Kim, in a shocking turn of events, the British coroner's office came up with a new theory that they're sticking with. That these are people who all committed suicide, and the feet are the last to decompose in an ocean. So they're saying mass suicide.
But they all came out at the same time, right?
But why are only feet washing ashore?
Right.
Authorities say it's because of the way the human bodies decompose and how feet are protected by shoes from the elements. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and I trust these people. I mean, they're mounted.
Right.
Okay? They are Mounties. Okay? These are the Mounties, all right?
The Mounties are mounted.
The Mounties know everything. And they said they're still working on identifying who the foot is. They know that it's New Balance sneakers. They just don't know what the foot inside belongs to.
Yeah.
They just know the sneaker. What are these 14 feet doing in sneakers?
I think it's a serial killer.
Yeah, okay, Jonathan. All right,
Dexter. You guys have never
so now
watched
we have
Dexter?
so now we have our second poll of the day.
Right.
We had our first poll: whose barber's better? Who wore it better? Okay,
Right.
DT, Orange Man, aka Orange Man.
It sounds like they're saying that the preliminary poll results are showing that people actually prefer Rocket Man's hair.
Rocket Man's haircut. I would prefer that as well if I had a choice.
If you had to pick.
If I had a choice of who I would look like, Rocket Man or Orange Man.
And plus, I just want to see
trust
Orange
me,
Man bald. So since he's gonna lose,
it's not really a good choice, you know. But you ever play that game? Death is not an option. So you have to pick one. You can't kill yourself. You have to have at least one haircut.
Would you rather?
I think I'd rather take Rocket Man.
Yeah.
What would you rather do?
I would go the Rocket Man because I feel like I could really pull it off. Like I have good bone structure.
And I think if I put a little gel in there, I think what Rocket Man is missing is the gel. I think if we open
Brad's
up,
a stylist
yes,
here.
I think I was thinking about it. I think that if we open up trade with North Korea, the first thing that should be off the bad list is gel for Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I think if I can imagine, like, all of a sudden there's peace, and all of a sudden, like, in North Korea, we have gel, and the guy is like
Superhold too.
Yeah,
right?
Superhold something.
Exactly.
All right. Well, everybody's saying let Brad know it's 602.
Right. So now we have that poll. Whose hair do we like better?
Okay.
Okay, and you'll fill me in on that.
Let me know.
And then we have the second poll. Okay, it's an A, B, C, or D. I don't know. Can we do an A, B, C, or D?
I mean, it's all in the comments.
It's all in the comments. Okay.
in the comments.
So A, are these dismembered feet from a mass murderer?
Mm-hmm.
B, a bear who doesn't like feet. 3, random suicide. Or D, these are just feet, none of the above. Okay, it's one of those 4.
There is one tiny correction
Uh-huh.
that to me is the most befuddling.
Befuddling.
Befuddling. I was the most befuddled. The feet have been found in the last 10 years. Like, feet keep washing ashore in
so
the
it wasn't
last
all at the same
10
time?
years.
So every year there's another foot.
They're basically we're
That
averaging
sounds like
about
that sounds like a hungry bear before he hibernates. That's what it sounds like to me. You know, the bear's like, you know what, I'm about to hibernate. Let me go eat somebody.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's like, I don't want to eat this sneaker, right?
Right.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me, but I don't know. The Mounties say
Not related.
not really. No bears. It's suicide. All right. With that said, our immigration calls are coming up right now. We're going to be taking all your immigration calls. Now's the time to call 1-800-529-5465. You call right now. Exactly. You call right now. You're like the
Vanna White.
No, you're like what was that? American Idol when they were like, call 1-800.
Right.
And they're like, yes, call now. Right. American Idol. That's what you look like right now.
On American Idol.
Right. It's not on the shit anymore, American Idol, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it is still on.
It definitely is.
It's back on. All right. So Belgium Kim is not on American Idol. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias is not there on Bradshaw Live, and they want you to call to get your immigration questions answered. 1-800-529-5465. And of course, if you are a little shy, you can leave your questions in the comments for Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. And in about 25 minutes or so, we will be answering your questions. Let's go to the lines. All right. Ooh. We are getting answers. That's right. All right. Damas in Bronx, New York. Damas, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I calling for my cousin. She's at work. Can't make the call, but she's listening in a room.
Okay.
So
Okay.
do our best for
Okay.
She got married to her husband. Everything went well and everything, but he signed for the 2 years.
Right.
He signed the paper and then started acting up, and it's 17. She and the kids, they got their 2-year extension. She's working and everything and whatever. But he was abusing me verbally to her and the kids, because she stepped out because his sister is there. You know, when sister-in-law get in and whatever, so she left and at a family member house. He usually comes around and then he just started acting up. She decided she don't want to be around because he's abusiveness. So she heard that he is sending out a divorce, but her current 2 year is in and she gets her extension, so she wants to know what's going to happen.
Okay, she's listening to me now. She's listening to me
she
now.
is, yes,
Okay.
yes,
What's
yes.
your name? What's your name?
Oh, damn it, I'm calling on behalf, but she's listening.
Her name is Danny?
No, I'm Dammy.
Thomas.
Her name is Chris. Yes, but
her name is Chris.
Listening, yeah.
Okay. Chris is the person who needs the help. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Chris, listen to me.
On the I-95 pending. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Extension with her 2 kids and everything.
I'm on it. I got it. Chris, listen to me. Get out. Okay, and I'm not talking about the movie. I'm saying literally get out. You do not have to live in an abusive relationship. As long as you have proof that you and your spouse were living together for some period of time after you got your conditional green card, if there's abuse in the relationship and he's getting a divorce, he's actually helping you, all you really have to prove to get your permanent green card is, here's my divorce, and you can thank the man for doing it because he's helping you, and I don't live with him anymore because he was abusive to me, we got divorced, and here's the proof that we lived together after I got my conditional green card. And what you do is, once the divorce starts, you get out, you take all your documents that you were living together. When you leave, go live somewhere else, go live a happy life, come see me. I will notify immigration that you are out, you are getting divorced, and that we're going to convert this case to a waiver case based on a divorce and based on the fact that this was an abusive relationship, but it was real. That's all we have to prove, and we can certainly help you. Okay? Nothing. The only thing you have to worry about is living with a man that's abusive. Get out.
Because she's wondering now, like, oh, it's in already, and she has the I-7.
So what?
The
I can still convert it without a problem.
Okay, she's wondering if they're sent in for evidence, what will happen? Or
what's going to happen is, if I'm her attorney, I'm going to say, here's the divorce and here's the proof they live together, the husband's out.
But what if it doesn't come through then? What if he just started it?
What if he did start it?
Yeah, what if he just starts the divorce?
Fine. We want him to start the divorce. It'll save her money. He's doing the divorce for her.
So what should she do now? Like, she said she heard they came to work at her grandma's house.
All right, what she should do is call, stay on hold, conference her in, and have her make a phone consultation with me or an in-office consultation. I'll tell her exactly what to do, but she will be fine. All right, hold on.
I'm gonna give her the number. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so let's go to Garvey in the Bronx. Garvey.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Bernstein.
How are you?
Okay, my brother was convicted on a drug charge, and he went to prison for 2 years.
Right.
Now he's in Jamaica. He's been deported.
Right.
Over 10 years now.
Right.
His wife is here sick with stage 4 cancer. He wants to know if he could get a visa to just come and see her because, you know, she does have very long to live.
We can certainly request a humanitarian waiver for him to come and see his wife before she passes. Obviously, she can't go and see him. That would depend a lot on, you know, has he had good moral character since he's been ordered deported, and hopefully we can touch somebody's sympathetic chords at the Department of Homeland Security in Kingston, Jamaica, to allow some sort of humanitarian waiver for him to visit his wife before she passes. We can try. We would have to get into the case and see. So hold on one second, all right? Let's go to Harry in Brooklyn, New York. Harry. 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 Okay, he's obviously talking to Charlotte. Let's go to Nikki in Fort Lauderdale. You didn't get that.
That's not Harry.
Hello.
You think about it. All right, Nikki in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Nikki.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Bernstein. My question to you on my N400. I submitted my N400 September 15, 2016. August 9, 2017, I did the interview. I got the letter that I passed the interview, what they wanted to verify some other things.
When did you pass your interview?
August 9, 2017.
And this was an interview for what?
For N400.
For your citizenship. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now, every time I'm inquiring, they keep saying they're waiting on background check. Is that possible for you to be called for an interview and then they go back and do the background check?
Yeah, it's possible that you got called for an interview and the background checks didn't clear. But it's been almost 10 months now, so I would suggest you hold on and let's see if we can help you. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right. And there goes Jill. And now Jonathan Yo-Yo. What? Sex of the City. Ah, you got it.
That's my show,
you had to Google it. You had to Google it.
I know. And when I read it, I was like, and that's my show.
That's your show.
I love it.
You love it.
And Harry was that
he was
Jewish
the Jewish
man.
lawyer.
Yeah,
he was the Jewish lawyer Charlotte converted to Judaism
for him.
And every time he went to court, he was sweating all over the place.
Oh, and he's got like the Kleenexes that keep sticking to his forehead.
Exactly.
That was a good one.
That was a true
thank
love
you very
story.
much. Thank you. I'm glad you got your. I said you would figure it out.
I'm surprised you are a Sex in the City.
I'm not really,
Yeah,
I'm not really, but I'm a sponge of knowledge. All right, so let's go to Mr. Itabo. Mr. Itabo.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, this is Mr. Yeah, I'm good, and you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I was calling on my. I have a 2 years green card. I came in through marriage. They emailed me. They made me my 2 years green card.
Right.
So I went after 3 months prior to the expiring date, which it was on the 12th of August 2017.
All right, so your green card expired in August 2017.
Yes.
Okay. So what and this was the 2-year card you're saying?
Yes, this was a 2 years card.
Okay.
So I went and filed in for my 10 years for my 10 years.
Okay.
So right up to now, I did my fingerprint and.
Sounds like it sounds like everything is right on target. You and your spouse are doing it together?
Yes.
You got it. Did you get a I don't mean to cut you off, but let me just figure out what's going on here. Did you get a letter from immigration extending your green card?
Yes, for 1 year.
Okay.
So I think probably it's 9 months now. It's getting to 9 months since the day I went for the day I went for my fingerprint.
Right. Yeah, it takes about 18 months though, so you just got to hang in there. But everything sounds like it's going fine.
So I was just trying to see, am I eligible to go in for my because I will be eligible to get in for my citizenship.
You are eligible. They give you a hard time, but you're certainly eligible. You would get an interview for both the I-751 and your citizenship simultaneously. As long as you've had a conditional green card for 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days, you can absolutely file for your citizenship, and they would give you an interview for both your citizenship and the removal of your conditions. If you and your spouse are in a bona fide marriage, you're filing joint tax returns together, by all means, you can certainly try that.
Yes, we'll find a tax return. We have a bank account together. We have a baby.
Okay, yeah. So you have a straightforward case. By all means, do it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That was just all I wanted.
And if you need help, hold on 1 second, okay?
Yes.
All right. And he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've never been to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Me either.
Right. I heard it's not the most happening town, but I heard it's a nice town. I don't know. I've never been there. I'm just commenting on what other people have told me.
No, what is like the main tourist attraction in Pittsburgh? I don't have the slightest idea.
A river. There's a river that flows through Pittsburgh.
That's the
but there's a river that flows through a lot of cities.
But
most big cities have
the tourist
rivers.
attraction.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, I understand that. Right, it's a steel town, so there's nothing really to see.
Right, you're not gonna go
see steel.
Maybe like a tourist steel factory.
Maybe we'll ask Sam to burrow to Pittsburgh.
He would love that.
All right, and he could say Pittsburgh's perfect. I would love to hear Sam go, Pittsburgh's perfect.
That's how you know
not
that.
a bad Sam.
That's why I'm not Sam. Want to hear my best Sam imitation?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's perfect. Yeah. You see, I'm not Sam.
That's how you know he's not
That's
Sam.
how you know I'm not Sam. Unless I'm making up a second voice and I'm really Sam. That would be very devious, right?
That would.
You are.
And Sam is pretty devious.
I was going to say
Sam
would
is
be
very
that
devious. Sam is very devious. All right, please, by the way, don't forget to share. They keep changing it on. Please don't forget to share with your friends and family. We are answering your immigration questions. Let's go to Christopher in Brooklyn. Christopher.
Yes, good afternoon.
How are you?
Not bad. I have a question. I recently got married to a young lady. She was living here with me for about 9 months now. And she went back, about 5 months, and she went back home to Jamaica.
Right.
We get married. And I decided to file for her and her 2 small kids then.
Wonderful.
How would I go about doing that?
Oh, you haven't done it yet. You got to file.
No.
You got to file an I-130 for her, a separate I-130 visa petition for one child and a separate I-130 visa petition for another. So each child and the mother, there's 3 separate applications are going to go in. They each get a filing fee of $535. That's how you start.
Okay,
if you're not sure
okay.
how to do it, you are in Brooklyn, I'm in Manhattan, we're literally across the river, and you can come and see us, and then I can give you a consultation, and we can go from there. So hold on 1 second, okay? Takes about a year.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, let's go to Kiki in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kiki.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yes, my name is Kiki, and I just want to find out some stuff because I'm not sure. I have a friend who's visiting here from Jamaica, and she come up here on the visiting visa.
Right.
And anyway, she not sure, but I think she will be having baby soon because of it's mature, coming sooner than how she thought. Anyway, she went to the doctor or her BYGN, and they asking her. She don't have any insurance at this point, and they're offering her for Medicare. Can you help me with that, Brad? Because I'm not sure how
Well,
that goes.
she's not allowed to come to the United States on a visitor's visa and give birth, so she's violating her visa by doing this.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Once she leaves, she'll never be allowed back, although the child will be a U.S. citizen. You apply, as the law stands right now, you apply for the Medicaid for the unborn child. That's how the law stands right now. Okay?
Right.
I am not an expert in Medicaid. I can't tell you how to do it. Okay, I can only tell you what she's doing is in violation of the law.
Okay.
All right.
So if she uses Medicaid, she can lose her visa, right?
She would, if she gives birth here, she's going to lose her visa, whether she's on Medicaid or not. She has a problem. She should make an appointment at least to talk to us, you know, and then we can figure it out from there.
Okay.
All right, hold on 1 second. All right, I know that didn't sound good to her, but that's the reality. You can't come here to the United States in 2018, give birth, get Medicaid, and expect to keep your visa. It's a violation of the law. Let's go to Mike in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mike.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you?
What's up, Brad?
How are you?
I'm great. You?
Good. What's going on?
All right. I'm a permanent resident, right?
Right.
And I'm getting married. And my brother is in Jamaica, in which he went today to apply for a visa at the U.S. Embassy. And when they asked him what's his reason for visiting, he told them he's coming to his brother's wedding.
Right.
So they asked him a whole bunch of questions about me. How do I got up here? If this is my second marriage, and my date of birth and all of that.
Right.
And then they deny him.
Okay.
So I was wondering why, what does my situation has to do with him?
Well,
what do you think they were thinking about?
Well, they were thinking, I don't know if you overstayed on your visa, that like one brother, a second brother would do it. It's possible. They also may be thinking that he doesn't have enough ties to return back to Jamaica. Just because you're coming for a wedding is only half the battle. The other half of the battle is proving you're leaving after the wedding. And most likely they didn't believe he was going to leave. And it's his burden to prove. Okay? So if he wants, he can certainly have a consultation with us and we can talk about, off the air what he said, what they said, what he presented, and see if we can give him any suggestions on how to reapply for the visitor's visa a second time. All right? So
because he said because I sent a letter, I sent an invitation, he got his job letter, and he said they didn't take anything from him.
Yeah, well, also a lot of times they stereotype on where you're from. And so, they say, oh, somebody who came from, this area. I'm not making it up. I have no idea. These people historically overstay their time, or somebody with this particular job or this particular occupation usually overstays and doesn't come back. So it's a lot of stereotyping as well. But certainly we can look into it. The other thing I can tell you is that historically, if you're single between the ages of 20 and 40 from the West Indies, it's very, very difficult to get a visa. Historically. I'm not saying that people don't get visas 20 to 40 single, but historically that seems to be the case. All right, so hold on.
You won't think I'll be in problem, right?
I think he has yeah, they didn't give him a visa, so obviously he has a problem. I don't know if I can resolve it, but
talking me.
Oh, no, you don't have a problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, hold on. All right. So let's go to Garvey in the Bronx. Garvey. Garvey.
Yes.
Garvey, how are you?
Yes, I'm good.
Good. I'm good too. What can I do to help you?
No, I spoke to her already. I'm just holding on to get some more information.
Great. Hold on. I don't know why they told me to come back to her. Okay. Jill, can you have someone pick up Garvey for me? Let's go. Is this the same Harry from Harry?
Hello.
Harry, how are you?
Hello.
Is this a Harry?
Good.
You're not. You don't sound like a Harry. Are you Harry?
Yes, I am.
You are Harry.
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. How are you, Harry?
Good.
What can I do to help you?
I married and I got the 2-year green card. I put in for my for the permanent green card.
Right.
And I didn't receive the letter, and I was waiting this over a year. Then they sent me back a notice now that they need additional information for my case. With the information that they are wanting is the same thing that I sent to them, but also in the letter they're stating that I should not resubmit what I've sent to them.
Right. So you know, like, let me give you an example. This is a form letter, okay, and nobody has looked at your application yet. Now, for example, let's say you submitted a bank statement to show you and your spouse are living together. Did you submit 1 month of bank statements, or did you submit 30 months of bank statements? Did you, you know, it's about volume. It's about volume. I don't know exactly what you, I'm sorry?
It was a month. It was a month. It was a month.
It was what? 1 month.
It was just a month.
That's why. You have to submit 30 months, month after month after month. So from the day you got your green card all the way to the present, they want to see every bank statement to show that you have had an economic relationship with your spouse. I'm just giving you this as an example for the last 24 months. Not that you had an economic relationship with your spouse for 1 month. All right? So that's what they're asking for. So you didn't submit the volume of evidence that they generally require. So hold on 1 second. Let's go to Shaw in Queens. Shaw. Shaw.
Hello.
How are you, Shaw?
I'm good, Brian. Nice to talk to you. I was waiting for you to. Actually, I have a question. I already submitted. My wife is American citizen. She filed for me last year, August 23rd. And then after 2 months, November 11, I got my work permit.
Right.
So right now I'm still waiting because there way in online whenever I'm try to see my case, I used to see October 18. We're gonna give you send you a notice for interview. So and then last month I keep see like to 18th of October they will send me a notice.
Right, you're reading all of this online, correct?
Yes.
And this is for your initial adjustment of status?
Yes.
And how long have you now been waiting? Tell me, because I get confused when you say in August this happened in July. How long have you been waiting in total so far?
I submitted August 23rd, 2017, and still I'm waiting. In meantime, I get
all right. So you're in Queens. You're now at about 9 months. It is taking in New York about 9 to 10 months. You're right in that range to be getting your interview. If 10 months goes by, if 10 full months go by from the day they received your adjustment application, you still have no notice from them, you should come see us.
Yeah.
All right, but you should be getting it very shortly.
All right, but I had something because whoever submitted my attorney, somebody said his license been revoked.
Oh well, that's a problem because if you had an attorney submit something that his license was revoked, now they're going to suspect that you're committing fraud.
I'm not sure because I can ask him. How should I check?
I can check. You check. There's a licensing board in every county that lets you know whether lawyers are licensed and in good standing. So you can come see us and we can check it out for you. So hold on 1 second, okay? All right, let's go to Keisha in Queens. Keisha.
Hello.
Hi, Keisha.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Currently, I just want to ask you a question because you're dealing with my case now.
Right.
But I want to ask you a question. Like how I don't get the green card, right? And I told you I'm going from November and I still haven't get it, and you're dealing with the case right now. My son has an interview on the 4th of next month. Will he get through like how I don't get a green card, is it?
Your son, who's sponsoring your son? Your husband?
Yeah.
Okay. They may hold up your son waiting on you getting your green card. It's possible. Okay. They may wait to see that you get through and that you have a bona fide marriage. But certainly your son should go through the process and go for the interview. Hopefully he gets it. There's a possibility they'll say wait until you get your green card. And if that's the case, then my office will call back the embassy, show that you got your green card, and reschedule your son to go back like a few weeks later.
Okay,
All right, but let's pray that they don't give you that problem, okay?
Okay, but if we don't get through when he go there, I should just call you and let you know.
Absolutely. And the only reason he wouldn't get through is because you haven't gotten through yet. That would be the only reason.
Okay.
All right? But we'll see.
Thank you. Because you're dealing with my case.
Don't worry. If I'm dealing with your case and everything is kosher, you'll be fine. I promise.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. All right. All right. Let's go to Veronica. Veronica in Westchester County. Veronica.
Yes, hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I have a friend, and she got married a couple of years ago, and I think when she got married, her husband was, I think he was a green card holder. So basically, she wants to know, if she would have to go home, or what can be done.
Has she overstayed her time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the husband's a green card holder, it's a different process, but there's a process to go through. If your husband is a green card holder, your spouse is a green card holder, if she's the wife has the green card or vice versa, but there's a process to go through, even married to a permanent resident, to get your green card. The answer is generally, sometimes you're 245I, sometimes you're in legal status, but generally the process is a provisional waiver, go home, come back, okay? But that is a process to go through. People do it all the time. We do it hundreds of times a year here in the office, and it's a successful way to go through and process. So hold on 1 second and see if we can help you. All right, with that being said, we're at the 6:30 mark. So when we're at the 6:30 mark, that only means one thing coming up next. And that means your immigration questions on Facebook. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, Belgium Kim, they're going to be answering your immigration questions right now in something that we call social media check-in. They're on it.
Nailed that one.
Damn, right on it. All right, what do you got?
Damn.
What do you got?
It was a good one. You want to start it off today?
Sure.
I got the first one yesterday.
All right, no problem. I have Kavita Hudson. So, question, how long will it take for a U.S. immigrant to file for their spouse?
A U.S. immigrant?
That's what it says.
A U.S. immigrant, I guess, is a green card holder. Is that what they're referring to?
I would think so. Yeah.
About 1.5 to 2 years.
Marb said, I heard that an individual can sponsor a person to get a green card. Is that true? And if so, who can sponsor?
An individual person, there's no such thing as I'm an individual person and I'm sponsoring. You can be sponsored by family. You can be sponsored by an employer. You can, a sponsorship could be as an investor. You can self-petition yourself. Those are the general ways to do it. I mean, there's a lot of other ways to get a green card, but in terms of sponsorships, it's going to generally be through employment, through investments, through family.
All right, I have one from Vicky Roy. What's the proper way to apply for a U.S. residency?
You're asking how to get a green card, basically. Okay? There is 1,000 different ways to process things depending on your specific factual circumstances. So when somebody gives me this really broad question, hey, what's the right way to process for a green card? The right way is the right way, but every person has a different way. If it was as simple as every person who wants a green card, fill out this form, put your name, birthday, and address, and mail it in. If it was that easy, there would be no Brad Show Live. I don't know what there would be. Okay? Maybe it would be Groundhog Sam Live. I have no idea, but it would not be Brad Show Live. We've been doing this for 20 years, both on the radio and Facebook. There's like so many different ways to go about it. You would need to come in, speak to us about your specific factual circumstances, and then we'll figure it out.
I'm not mad at Groundhog Sam Live. That would be a pretty good show.
You like that?
I have told Jill that if the groundhog blows up before we do, I'm going to be legitimately mad. Like, I'm going to be actually pissed off.
While you are discussing Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have to remind everybody to please share with your friends and family. We want to get our numbers up. We want to help as many people as we can. Law Offices of Spar Bernstein page was way behind Brad Show Live page yesterday. Brad Show Live page had like 3 or 4 times as many shares as Law Offices of Spar Bernstein. Lisa Bling Rose was trying to get everybody out of their slumber. And hopefully today, Law Offices of Spar Bernstein comes through. Brad Show Live, if they come through, you got some competition. So please share also. Let us try to help, in all honesty. Let us try to help as many people as we can. What do you got?
Carlene said, please, Brad, could you shed some light on SIDGE cases? Last time I heard there were some delays.
There are delays. There's delays with everything. There's delays in adjustments. There's delays in green cards. There's also, you know, a narrowing of what a special juvenile immigrant is, depending on where the family court happened, how old the person was. Between 18 and 21, they're giving some problems now. But certainly it is a very fast and easy way to do it, comparative to other ways to getting a green card if you are a child, especially if you've been abandoned, neglected, or abused by at least one of your parents. But yes, the process is taking a little longer.
All right, I have one from Dolly Shahid. How long does it take when a parent sponsors their married children?
About 15 years.
I've got a question from Chris who said, I'd like to know what the filing fees are for my wife and 2 small kids.
Okay, who are you? You're a citizen?
He's an American citizen.
And where is your wife and 2 small kids?
I don't think we know that.
Okay, so if the wife and 2 small kids are in another country, it's $535 for the wife, $535 for one child, $535 for another child. If they are here, it's an adjustment fee. It's $1,765 for the wife, and then the adjustment fees change if the children are over or under 14, and that would also change because they may or may not need biometrics depending on their age. So I need to know more information.
Okay, we have one from the beautiful Tamika Nelson. So asking for my friend, her dad passed away yesterday. She's in the process of getting her papers. She wants to attend the funeral in Jamaica. Is there any way she can attend the funeral while her paperwork are in process and able to return back into the States?
Well, if it's the paperwork is an adjustment of status application, she can make it. She can request an emergency advance parole, show the death certificate, and get travel permission within 24 hours. And yes, come back, but don't stay out for more than 2 weeks.
Abdi Nasir says, how much are the filing fees for an I-400 form?
A what form?
I-400?
The I-400 does not exist. An N-400.
An N-400?
$725. That's for the citizenship.
All right, I have one from Vita. So I'm filing for my stepson. He's 16 years old. He's an immigrant visa interview. He has an immigrant visa interview, excuse me. P4 for green card.
P4? There's no P4s anymore. But continue.
There's no P4s anymore.
No, that was out. That was out the door like 30 years ago. But let's continue anyway.
Okay.
Maybe he's 60.
Right, okay. So it's a stepson.
Okay, yeah, so it's a stepson.
All right, way to go, by the way, Brad Show Live. We hit over 100. Very good sharing. Very, very good sharing, Brad Show Live. We like it. And Law Offices of Spar Bernstein. They're at 120. Brad Show Live's catching up. So now let's go back again.
All right, so should he go to the interview with him? The interview letter says the petitioners are not required to attend the interview.
They are not required to attend, but if you want your stepson to come here, it would be smart to go. I always suggest go over not go. shows you care and love this child enough to travel and get this child to come to America. If it was my stepson or my stepdaughter and I loved my spouse, I would be the first one on the plane down there to make sure that they get through without a problem.
Remember when you promised the people that if we ever hit 300
But we're
live
not at
views,
300.
I know Jella Vishana is trying to renegotiate.
That, but we're not. No, we're not renegotiating.
She's trying to renegotiate.
With my bad back, my shoulder, and 2 bad knees, we're hitting 300 before I'm flip off this desk. Okay. The other thing I will say this. Okay. The other thing I will say this. All right. If it's 300, Jonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, I'll give you a choice. Okay, I'll give you a choice. Yo-Yo will go topless at the end of the show, or I will do a flip. We'll take a poll. All right, continue. Let's continue.
That's I think I'd go for it too. Fiona said, "Hi, Brad. I received my my approval for my work permit as well as my advanced parole approval. I want to ask that it states that re-entry into the U.S. is not guaranteed and subject to the discretion of CBP. I'm concerned because I've overstayed more than a year and really want to attend my daughter's graduation. Would you advise that I go ahead and take the risk and travel with the advanced parole?"
Yes, because it's not a risk unless you have a criminal record. Yes, it's discretionary, but they can't abuse their discretion. So if they give you pre-approval to leave, they can't take it back at the airport just because they don't like the way you look. Now, if you have a criminal record, you have drugs in your suitcase, you tell the officer you want to bomb the Empire State Building, yeah, it's in their discretion to say, hey, we don't want this lady here. But assuming all else is equal, or they get some sort of information that you're in a bogus, fraudulent situation, yeah, they can give you a problem. But all else being equal, they can't abuse their discretion. They have to let you in.
Okay, I have one from Annavive Roberts. I'm a U.S. citizen. Can I file for my niece, and how long will it take?
Forever. You can't file for your niece. Sorry. But if your niece is here, there's no filing for nieces. Why you look so surprised, Jonathan?
Why can't they file for her?
Because Congress, in their infinite wisdom, has said no filing for nieces. And that's been like that forever. But if the niece is here in the United States and has been abandoned, neglected, or abused by at least one of the biological parents, you can do a SIJ. You can also do an orphan petition or perhaps an adoption if the child's under 16 in another country, if they're in fact orphaned.
So we got options.
Right, but it's not filing for niece.
Right.
All right.
Jackie Everblessed Harmer wants to know, can someone with 2 drug cases, one that's been expunged and one that's still on him, get back his work permit and his documents?
Jackie wants to know if one has been expungement does not vacate the criminal records for a immigration case. So expungement, you get your case expunged, it's still a criminal conviction. The only time it's not a criminal conviction is if it gets vacated. There's a big difference between expungement and vacating. Let me explain what the difference is because people get it confused all the time. Expungement means on a certain day, let's call it January 1st. On January 1st, I pled guilty and I was sentenced to a crime and I went into court and I said, yep, I did it. And then 2 years later, you go to a judge and you say, Judge, I've been a good person for 2 years. I paid my fine. I did my probation, whatever it is. Can you please expunge this off my records? I don't want anybody to see it. That's expungement. It doesn't mean that you didn't get a conviction. It just means it's not on your records anymore. It's a conviction for immigration purposes. Compare that to vacating a conviction. Vacating a conviction means you plead guilty on January 1st. Yep, I did it. And 2 years later, you go back to the judge and say, Judge, I want to vacate this conviction. Why? Because my rights were violated when I pled guilty. If I knew that I was going to have this immigration problem, nobody told me, blah, 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 and you show that you had a violation of your rights, and it's in the best interest of the court to not violate your rights or to have you plead guilty to something that may not make you deportable, then that conviction is vacated. It's as if it never happened. Then you're okay. Expungement means you were convicted and they're just taking it off your record years later. Vacating means it never happened.
You're really good at this. Sorry.
You're just figuring that one out now.
No, I'm just always
I've been doing this long enough. I told you I am a sponge of information.
A sponge of knowledge?
A sponge of knowledge goes a long, long way, ladies and gentlemen.
It's almost like you rehearse it, but you don't.
I did rehearse it. All of these questions, all of these questions.
You knew what questions they would ask.
No, it's because I've handled this so many times.
Exactly.
That I know the answers. I rehearsed it through my own life experiences of handling these cases day after day after day.
Yeah, I believe it. All right. So I have one from Share Civil. Can you help someone who needs a green card through employment?
Perhaps I can. I would need to meet with them and find out more information.
Michael Harrison has asked a similar question, but more specifically. He said, what type of visas could be granted for special talents or skills? Say, if a church is filing for an individual who's a musician or someone who's being considered for pastoral ministry there.
Well, those are two different questions.
Well, I got two questions for you then, I guess.
Okay, because one is, can I get a green card through my expertise as a musician? You would have to show that you're one of the top musicians in the world or in your nation, in your genre. That's one way. Maybe you are one of the best gospel musicians from your country, and you can show that acclaim. Then that would be extraordinary ability green card, and you self-sponsor yourself. Or you're getting sponsored in a religious position in the church. And that doesn't mean you go to church on the weekend and play during the services. That is a person who is a dedicated member of the church, but not necessarily a religious worker. A religious worker is somebody who has taken a vow to religious work, made it their life mission. This religious work earns their income through this religious work and has gotten some sort of theological background into your particular religion, so that way you can use this type of musical ability that you have to further your particular religion. Those are two different ways. So we would need to meet with that person and find out. Are you still impressed, Jonathan?
I'm so
Yo-Yo
impressed.
Elias.
I'm just over here in awe. Like,
yeah.
What else?
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
I feel like it's incredibly thorough answer Tuesday.
Yes. Thoroughly entertaining Tuesday.
Thoroughly entertaining Tuesday,
yes.
yeah.
Knowledge Tuesday versus Wednesday After Dark, right?
Right.
Tomorrow we will be having our Wednesday After Dark episode.
Our Hump Day special.
Hump Day special. Right, it all goes off the rails on Wednesday, but today we're giving good information.
All right, so I have one from Listawell Samson Abu. How long does it take to file for a sibling that's already in the USA?
A sibling in the USA is about 12 to 15 years. Let's do this. We have about 3 people on hold.
Okay.
We'll go one more question each.
Okay.
And then we got a lot more to go.
Okay.
And we'll come back to social media hopefully at the end.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions.
We are.
Yes.
They keep rolling
yes,
in.
They keep coming in. They're rolling, rolling, rolling.
That's what happens when you share with your friends.
Keep them doggies rolling.
Keep
Do you know what's after that?
doggies rolling.
Keep them doggies rolling.
Rolling rawhide. Rawhide.
Definitely don't know.
You don't know that one? Rawhide.
Isn't that a
rolling,
Kid Rock
rolling,
song?
rolling. Keep them something rolling.
What is that?
Isn't that a song, like a Western song?
Isn't it a Kid Rock song?
You didn't grow up with that one?
Definitely didn't.
Rolling.
No,
that I know.
But he's rolling something else there.
Right.
He's not rolling in the wagons across the Wild West.
No, they are not.
He's rolling something else. That would get you deported, but he's an American citizen, so he can... Right.
Oh, the Blues
Yes,
Brothers.
Rawhide, Blues Brothers. Thank you very much, Jilly Bean.
So
with
the blues.
Knowing, so I've had a lot of what is the word? A lot of references to that.
I thought you were going to say brain farts, and then it was really funny that you were.
Yes, it was brain farts because I couldn't come up with the word reference. All right, one more each.
Shayo said, my husband filed for me in 2017. He's a green card holder. How long do I have to wait? The filing happened in June.
You got about 12 to 18 more months.
Okay, I got one from Jackie Ever So Blessed Harmer. You didn't do this one, right?
I didn't. She asked a different question.
Okay, I was like,
oh, she's multiple questions.
Yeah.
She's asking for a friend this time.
Always a friend, right?
Always a friend.
How come nobody in the Brad Squad said, yeah, friend, right? You know, remember they used to say that?
They still do that? They still do. I think this might be for a friend.
It could be a friend. We believe her.
Yeah, because she asked for her already,
We
so there's
believe
no
her.
motive.
So this is her friend, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so her friend's daughter got in a fight a couple of months ago. She was locked up. She's in the DACA
DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals.
Okay, yeah. Oh, DACA. Okay, gotcha. Which was expired on her time of arrest. She got bailed out, but is scared of them sending her home. What's her chances now that she has to get back to court?
Renew the DACA. They already know about you. Go renew it, and hopefully you have a good criminal defense attorney. And if you don't, then come see us, and we will help you with the criminal case. You obviously don't want to be found guilty of any sort of assault, okay? But certainly they already know about you. You should go renew it, all right? By you not renewing it, you're putting yourself in a bad position. All right, with that said, we have Samuel, who has been waiting on hold for a little bit here. Let's speak to Samuel. And then after Samuel, I had spoken to Carmela about some celebrities in the news.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I like that.
Yeah, you like celebrities in the news.
That's our bag.
Right. Let's go to Samuel in Queens. Samuel is on the train, on the 7 train in Queens. How are you?
Brad, how are you? I'm driving.
Oh, you're driving. Okay. Sounded like you're on the train. What's up?
I got a question. If I'm a green card holder, right, and I got an open case, it would be advisable to travel?
If a green card holder, what kind of cases do you have?
Assault.
What happened with those cases?
Well, the cases was put off on another day.
Was put off for another day?
Yeah.
I would need to see what's going on before I advise you to travel. Come see me, okay? That concerns me sometimes, especially if it's like a domestic violence thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it sounded like it was a domestic violence thing. So, any event, Carmela Walrond.
Yeah.
Okay, she's our fabulous tax attorney in our celebrity rap sheet today. She was talking about the divorce between Scary Spice Mel B and her ex-husband Stephen Belafonte, who she accused of abuse and was not a very good man to her.
Right.
Okay, but after the divorce was filed, he may have the ability to be the innocent spouse, even though he was the abusive spouse, because they owe a back tax of $250,000.
Wow.
So even though he was the abusive spouse, and sounds, at least certainly in the news, that he's a bad guy compared to what Scary Spice is.
Right.
Once the divorce was over, Carmela, who's our tax attorney, was saying, well, he can still take advantage of it. He could be the innocent spouse, even though he's not so innocent.
What?
Let's watch in Celebrity Rap Sheet. So welcome to Celebrity Rap Sheet. And today we're talking with Carmela Walrond, our fabulous tax attorney here at Spar and Bernstein, and we are talking about Mel B, Scary Spice.
Yes.
All right, and she's in a scary situation right now. Her full name is Melanie Janine Brown. Her ex-husband is Stephen Belafonte. There they are. I guess they put my head on Scary Spice.
Yes, they did.
That could be scary. Let me move over a little bit. There she is now.
There she is.
And so now they just finished with a divorce, Carmela.
Okay.
And it's reported now that they have a massive 2016 income tax lien for back taxes of $250,000. What does it mean now? Obviously, back taxes is obvious of what that is. Back taxes is back taxes. You owe it.
Yes.
But what does it mean now when the government says we're putting a lien, L-I-E-N, not lien, I'm leaning on you, but a lien, L-I-E-N, we're putting a lien on you for the back taxes of $250,000. What does that mean to our celebrities in our celebrity rap sheet today?
Sure. A lien is a government legal claim stating that this person neglected to pay past due taxes.
So it's their claim. What does that mean? Does that put them in any legal jeopardy that there's a lien on them?
Yes, because what the IRS can do next is issue a notice of intent to seize property or bank accounts.
So once the lien happens, they can start grabbing money, like almost like a claw.
Not yet. They have 30 days. The taxpayer has 30 days once the IRS intends to file any type of a garnishment of bank accounts or property to contest the lien, or even set up maybe a payment plan, or to, like I said, file an offer and compromise application.
So, all right, so you have three choices.
Yes.
Okay, so they apparently have a lien that the government has put on them.
Yes.
We don't know when that was. We don't have the exact day.
Yes.
But let's assume we're in that 30 days. They owe $250,000.
Right.
They got 3 choices. They can pay back the $250,000,
Correct.
which is a scary proposition for Scary Spice to owe $250,000. They can do an offer and compromise, which I'd like you to discuss what that is.
Sure.
Or what is their third option?
Installment agreement.
Installment agreement.
Yes.
So pay it in installments with interest, or offer and compromise.
Or it's another option that someone may say if they don't own the taxes, they could file an appeal to contest the lien.
But something has to happen
within that 30 days.
Within that 30 days.
Yes.
Now let's say they do an offer and compromise. What kind of breathing room does that give them?
It would immediately stop the IRS from making any type of garnishment or any seizing of property.
But that would be in a situation where they literally don't have any assets and can't afford to sell anything to pay back the taxes. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. The person just has to file an offer and compromise application.
And that would just give them the breathing room they need.
Correct.
Even if they may have ultimately lose that case.
Yes.
Okay, but generally in an offer and compromise, you're filing something saying, I can't afford it.
Right. You cannot afford the taxes that is owed.
Mm-hmm. So now let me ask you this question. They were married. And now Scary Spice, she's divorced from Stephen Belafonte.
Yes.
That was her, I believe, her second husband. Okay. Is that correct? Or you don't know? Yes, it is her second husband,
okay.
I am told. Now, they have this huge tax debt.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Scary Spice comes to you and says, hey, we racked this up while we were married. It's really my husband's debt because he went crazy and just started buying stuff. And I kept telling him, slow down, and he didn't do it. What is the recourse? Because this debt happened when they were married, but I don't know if this is true or not, but let's say Scary Spice says, it's all Belafonte, it's not me.
Okay, sure. You will file something called an innocent spouse relief application, stating that the other spouse is legally entitled, is legally liable for the tax debt.
Now let's take it on the opposite side. Let's say Belafonte comes to you, Carmela, and says, listen, Scary Spice, I'm just Stephen Belafonte, who the hell am I? Right. Scary Spice is the breadwinner. And she's the one who makes all the money. She gets all the money from the old, Spice Girls songs and paraphernalia and everything. She's the real breadwinner. Why do I got to pay back this $250,000? Go after her. What do you say about that?
Well, unfortunately, you both signed the tax return, so both of you are joint and severally liable for that tax debt. It doesn't matter if one spouse is the breadwinner.
Now, in the divorce proceedings, Belafonte signed an affidavit saying he's destitute. He doesn't have a penny. Does that matter?
He did not have a penny at the time of the divorce?
At the time of the divorce when he owed this money.
Oh, well then in his case he could file what is called offer and compromise on his share of the tax debt.
How would you determine what's his share and what's her share if it's a joint? I'm getting very technical, but I hope Stephen and Scary is watching all this stuff.
That is up between, that's why would you hire an attorney, because you will hire me to determine what portion that you'll be legally liable for in that matter.
And would the length of marriage or the reason why they were getting divorced have any bearing on who's responsible for what debt?
No, it'll be based on income.
Now, they have a child together, actually. I'm reading here. Mel B has a child with her first husband, actor Jimmy Golzar, and she also has a kid with Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
I didn't know that. It's good to know. All right, so the fact that she's now, and she has a kid also with Stephen Belafonte. Okay. So she has 3 children with 3 different men. Does the fact that she, let's say now Scary Spice comes to you with this pretty scary problem, does the fact that she's the mother of 3 with 3 different men help her at all try to negotiate down this debt that she owes?
Yes, because the IRS will take in consideration who's living in the household at the time. But also, any child support that she receives for those 3 children will also be taken into consideration.
Okay, so now let's take it on one other possibility. Let's say Stephen and Scary Spice, they're still pals, and they come to you together. What would you recommend to this couple, all right, if they come to you together jointly, to lower this tax burden of $250,000?
For the husband, I will consider filing an offer and compromise application to get a settlement of his tax debt because he's stating that he's not working, he does not have any income at this time. Or I could even maybe file an innocent spouse relief application because if Mel B earned this kind of money while they were married, he may not be even legally liable for the taxes for that debt.
Now, you've helped divorced couples in the past. Why don't you discuss non-famous celebrity rap sheet couples that have come to you with huge tax problems, what you've done to help them?
Sure. I had a client of mine, he owed about, he was joint and severally liable for $80,000 when he was married to his first wife.
So he had a joint tax return with his first wife,
yes,
and they jointly owed $80,000.
Correct.
And then he got divorced from her.
Yes, and the reason why he was joint and severally liable for the $80,000 is that the wife at the time withdrew money from her 401k. And that way, that's what created the tax liability.
Because as soon as you withdraw before your age of retirement,
yes,
you're getting taxed plus a penalty.
Yes, tax on your distribution plus 10%.
And it was on the wife's 401k, not even on his.
Correct.
But when you file that joint tax return, you become jointly responsible for the debts.
Yes, and my client was he's undocumented and was not working.
Okay. And on top of it,
yes,
undocumented and not working. Now, he owed $80,000 and divorced from this woman.
Yes.
Did he owe more after that, or this was it?
That was interest and penalties, obviously accrued. It was like almost $100,000.
And where was the wife in all of this?
Well, they got a divorce, and then he married a second wife.
And then that wife also became liable for his debt. Is that correct?
Well, the problem is that when they file a joint tax return, any money refund will go towards the money that was owed
from the first wife.
Right.
Right. So here's the second wife paying the taxes of the first wife.
So what
happened? That's pretty unfair.
Yes, that's unfair.
Yeah.
So first thing I did was an indigent spouse application, so she'd get her share of the refund. And the next thing that I did is file an innocent spouse relief application.
So you did two different
yes,
innocent spouse reliefs. They had two different fact patterns associated with it.
Yes.
One was the second wife saying, hey, I got nothing to do with this first wife.
Yes.
I'm the innocent spouse.
Yes.
And then the second one was the husband.
Yes.
Who married and said it was all the first wife's 401k.
Correct. So she should be liable for the taxes on that income. So what recently happened is that petition was filed at U.S. tax court, and what came down is that my client was not liable for any of the taxes owed regarding the
and you actually went to court for that?
We got a settlement prior to going to court. Yes.
Right, but there was a legal action.
There was legal action,
There was a legal action pending.
Yes.
And both the second wife and the husband, who was out of status, got the innocent spouse.
Yes, the husband got my client got the innocent spouse relief, and his second wife, also received her share of the refund.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. It's a fantastic job. Hopefully Stephen is watching, because it sounds like that's right. All right, you can do one of these two. Yay, okay. She's very reserved, Carmela.
Yes, I am.
Well, hopefully Stephen Belafonte is watching, because he sounds like an innocent spouse.
Yes.
From what we read in the tabloids. Mel B, she's still making money, I assume.
A lot of money.
So she would have to probably do an offer in compromise unless she has substantial assets that she has to sell to pay this tax debt.
Exactly.
And by the way, it's been reported that Mel B and all the Spice Girls are going to be at Meghan Markle's and Prince Harry's royal wedding.
Oh, that's fantastic news.
And now, if they sing a song or two,
yes,
and I guess would they get paid for that? And then the IRS would be watching that.
Yes, they'd be paid in British pounds, of course, and
would the IRS be watching that?
Yes, they have to declare it. Mel B, because she lives here in the States,
right,
would have to declare that income that she received in England.
Be interesting if she performs and gets paid when she owes all this money. We'll see. A lot of times it's not that you don't want to, but it's in your economic interest to either perform or not to perform.
Correct.
So we'll see. Carmela Walrond, fantastic job. For anybody
you.
who owes any taxes whatsoever, whether you are the innocent spouse, whether you are the spouse who owes the money and needs some help trying to reduce your tax debt, Carmela Walrond has had fantastic results reducing people's tax debts. It's an absolutely free consultation. All you need to do is call Carmela at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Carmela, wonderful job. I do have to remind everybody that prior successful results don't guarantee a similar outcome. Hopefully Mel B and Stephen Belafonte are watching, and hopefully other people are watching that need help, and you can absolutely call Carmela. And that is it, Carmela, Celebrity Rap Sheet.
Thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
All right, and now it's Carmela from our tax department. And if you owe any taxes are just over now. You know, tax season's over.
Yes.
And people are now like, oh my gosh, I owe taxes. If you owe taxes, you should be contacting Carmela. It's an absolutely free consultation, and she can help you from all 50 states. She does a pretty damn good job.
She's a beast.
She is. She is. Very reserved.
Yeah.
Very reserved, but she does
Silent killer.
Silent. Well, that's taxes. Taxes is not the most exciting. But she's very good at what she does.
Yeah.
All right. So any event. Let's go back. We have a whole bunch of questions we didn't get through to finish off our social media check-in. We're going to do our social media check-in right now, and if we have that little graphic there we are. Social media check-in. Let's see it.
All right. I have one from Lee Smith. I would like to travel to Ghana to meet my future wife and bring her back to the States for marriage. What's my first step?
Buy a plane ticket.
Okay, what's my next step?
Go meet her and make sure you're in love with her. And then if you are, then come back and file a fiancé visa to bring her here. That would be the fastest.
Victorious wants to know, how long does it take to get your green card if you're married to a citizen or a green card holder?
Citizen is a little over a year. Green card holder is approximately 2 years.
Okay, I have one from @Sierra.
And by the way, share. Don't make us go all the way around the world for nothing. Please share. Now you got
not all around the world.
All around the world for nothing. We might as well share if we're going to go around the world for nothing.
All right, @Sierra. I went to an interview with my son in November 31st, 2017. So at the interview, I was, this is going to be a difficult one.
Just read it as is.
Okay. As is?
As is.
As is?
Okay, you asked for it.
All right, uh-oh.
Went to the interview, me and my son, from November 31st, 2017. At the interview, I was approved, but my son medical was not filed. Was not filled out. That's what it is. Was not filled out correct. So they sent me back to the doctor for new medical. I did post it back to them. I received my green card from December, and I haven't heard anything about my son's green card. I only heard, or I only received a work permit for him. He's 17 years old and turns 18 in September. What should I do?
Well, he's okay. I mean, he has a pending case, even if he turns 21, which won't happen. He should get through beforehand. You've been waiting for a long time. You should come see me and let us follow up and speak to some people who can speak to some people who can speak to some people, and hopefully get the wheels moving, so to speak. The wheels are in motion. Get the wheels in motion.
There's lots of things like roll in motion.
Wheels
today.
in motion.
We're very forward today.
The wheels are going to be in motion.
Rolling.
Rolling.
Rolling down the river.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs with roll. Lisa
Yes.
Blake started singing row, row, row your boat,
Uh-huh.
but she said it as roll. That's a weird roll, but okay.
Roll your boat.
That's a
Roll. I never heard of. I don't know what
Roll
boat.
it down the
Maybe
stream.
boat is like like you ever go. I've never actually gone, but I've actually seen.
Yeah.
Like you go into like the pot shops and they have like all the different names.
Mhm.
Maybe one of them is boat.
So you roll the
boat.
Roll the boat.
I don't know
I
that
don't
if
know.
in those pot shops you roll anything.
You roll it.
Okay.
Don't you roll it in some?
How do you roll it?
You seem to be very aware.
Please show us.
By the way, I saw an article, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. De Blasio said that he wants to instruct the police not to arrest people for marijuana in New York City.
Wow.
But I don't know to what quantity.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll talk about that.
Sounds
So no 20 pounds of marijuana
I don't
regardless.
know. I don't know. We'll figure that one out tomorrow.
VAC would like to know, can a married asylum seeker get married to a U.S. citizen even after he has been referred to immigration court?
Yes, absolutely. Now, because you got married after you referred to immigration court, the government's going to presume you got married just to avoid deportation. So you have to prove it's a bona fide marriage, and you have to get what's called a bona fide marriage exemption. But certainly, yes, you can get married, and that could be a way to get a green card.
So he actually sent us a little bit more information and said that the U.S. citizen is giving an asylum. So the U.S. citizen gives an asylum seeker who is married back home a child, even though he has not married the U.S. citizen. So he's still married. The asylum seeker is still married back home, but he just had a baby with a U.S. citizen.
So then he would have to get divorced first, because other than that, he's a bigamist. So get divorced and then go get married to the U.S. citizen. You still have to prove a bona fide marriage exemption, but having a baby is a long way to proving that you got married for love.
Okay, I have one from Moya Reed. If a husband filed for the wife and 2 kids and the husband did not come to the interview, is it possible that they'll grant one child their green card?
Yes, it's possible, but I mean, the reality is if the husband didn't show up to the interview, if the wife, who's the mother, never got her conditional green card, they're not going to give the stepchildren green cards. So the wife or the mother has to get a green card, certainly. And then maybe the stepchildren, you never know.
Aisha is wondering, my fiance is coming on a visitor's visa. If I marry him, what do I do next?
File an adjustment application. You have to marry, not if you marry him. If he's coming on a fiance visa, you're telling the government you will marry him within 90 days.
No, he's coming on a visitor's visa.
Oh, not a fiance visa.
The fiance is coming on a visitor's visa.
If a fiance is coming on a visitor's visa, let me take everything back. Rewind it. Rewind.
Backpedal.
Okay, back up, exactly. If, that was better, back up over rewind.
Yeah.
I think I did more of a backup than a rewind there. Right? I think rewind was like, something like that.
I was just about to say, what's a rewind?
Right, what? That would be more than rewind. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you...
what if we play that forward
Jill,
and it's a message?
Right, Jill, I think you guys need to just cut that little bit.
And just keep doing it over. Just keep doing it all over again, right? And then like follow it up with me going like back. If you come on, going crazy. If you come on a visitor's visa, you can't get married for the first 90 days. He has to come with the intention of visiting. After 90 days, if you say, you know what, I can't live without this man, I want to get a green card, then by all means go get married and get your green card.
Okay, I have one from Ann White. Can a visa waiver be extended?
A visa waiver? What kind of visa waiver?
A visa waiver.
I don't know. I would need to know more.
Ann White, details, baby, details.
Yes.
Javel got details. He said, my friend's in the States. He went to school there, but she's there on a visiting visa. So she went to school there. But she's not there on a visiting visa. So now what can she do to get in school?
Change to a student visa. Why can't she do that?
Well, you tell me, Brad. You're the immigration attorney.
Get an I-20. Okay, get an I-20 from the school. That's the first step. And with the I-20, put in a change of status to a student while you're in legal status. Then don't get the I-20 too early, because then you violate your visitor's visa. So actually, come see me.
All right, I have one from Sprout Francis. I did my medical yesterday, and the doctor asked me if I've ever contracted gonorrhea. And
do we want to hear the rest of this? I don't know if I want to hear the rest of this or not.
It depends.
Is this a painful question?
This is.
Does it burn?
Is this burning? It's got a burning question here.
I haven't read the full question, so I don't know if she did get it or not.
We don't know. We don't know yet. All right, let's finish this up.
And I told him.
Thank God, though, you can take an antibiotic and you'll be fine in. I mean, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm told you can be fine in 20 days. So, I mean, that's why we make joke of it, because you can.
Right, because all is well.
All is well,
I mean,
right.
You know, we all like to have fun sometimes, you know. So.
No, stop.
I told the doctor 7 years ago that that it'll.
Do you have
a little gonorrhea?
Come on, let's go.
I'm reading it.
Let's go.
I'm trying to read it for you. So I told him 7 years ago, will that go against me? I asked the doctor, he said no, but still want to check with you.
All right, so 7 years ago, this woman had gonorrhea.
Right.
I presume that in the 7 years she took the antibiotic and she does not have gonorrhea right now. As long as you are cured, you do not have the communicable disease at this moment, you are fine. If you have been walking around with gonorrhea for 7 years, by all means, you should be on a heavy dose of antibiotics. But I am presuming that it's been cleared for 7 years, you're fine. They can only deny you, in all seriousness, they can only deny you for a green card if you have a communicable disease, but you don't. You had something, and now it's gone.
Charmaine says, "Hey guys, after your interview, how long will it take to hear from immigration?"
What interview?
Just
the interview.
My interview.
The interview. The interview. I have no idea what interview she went on.
Just any
It
job interview.
could be tomorrow. You'll hear tomorrow. By tomorrow, you should have. I have no idea. You need to give us more information.
Oh, I thought that was really the answer. I was like, really?
Tomorrow, you will hear. I have no idea. I would need to know more information.
Okay, I have another one from Ann White. So what's the penalty if you overstay a visa waiver?
Overstay a
visa waiver. Visa waiver meaning you enter the USA as a British citizen, so you're permitted under the visa waiver program.
You're out of status, and unfortunately, you don't even get, if immigration were to come across you, you don't get the benefit of seeing a judge for deportation. They just send you home.
All right, I have a last-minute slip-in from Louis Donaldson. Louis said, "Brad, my husband's a citizen. We've been married for about 8 months now, but he's been in and out of prison, hardly wants to stay at my house, and physically abuses me. I went to the doctor and was put on counseling. I'm not sure for how long, and was told a self-petition will have to be filed. How do they treat these cases with little or nothing in our name?"
The fact that you are seeing a therapist about abuse from your husband would indicate that you are in some sort of relationship with him. Certainly there's ways to prove it's a real relationship. Certainly he was abusive. We can certainly help you. Call us immediately. Do not stay in that relationship 1 second longer. With that said, we got 2 people on hold. Trisha's been waiting from Hartford since 11 minutes ago.
All right.
Okay. She has a burning question because she's been holding on, but hopefully it is not about any sexually transmitted disease. I doubt it. I'm not only making fun of Trisha. I have no idea what Trisha's calling about. Let's see what Trisha's calling about. Trisha.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Okay. One question that I want to ask.
Yes.
Can somebody that's on like pension file a petition for a wife?
A pension? Absolutely.
Like on pension.
A pension is some sort of retirement that you get from work.
Yes.
That's perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Okay.
The answer is yes. Now, if their pension is not enough to support you and the wife, you could always get a second affidavit of support. But that's not a need-based thing. A pension is because I put in the time, and this is part of my benefits in my retirement.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Hold on if you need help. Let's go to Kareem in Piscataway. Kareem.
Yes, hi. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Good. I have a small question. I'm a U.S. citizen since 1995.
Right.
And I applied for my wife to come from Morocco to United States. And she was here. She lived in the United States for like 5 years, from 1996 to 2001. And we did everything, and we filed everything. She did the interview at the consulate in Morocco.
Right.
And since December the 5th, we haven't heard anything from them. They said you just have to wait.
This is 2001. You've been waiting for 16 years.
No. She lived here from 1996 to 2001, and then she moved back to Morocco.
Oh, I see.
And she stayed there.
Okay.
And now she want to come back.
Yeah, it's more. It's not about she overstayed. I doubt, because that 10-year bar has been lifted already. It's probably more the Trump Muslim thing. So
exactly.
So let us get involved and speak to the embassy and work through that. So hold on 1 second, okay? And unfortunately,
no problem.
Unfortunately, if you were a Bernstein instead of a Kareem, you wouldn't be having these problems, and that's what's sad right now. But we'll certainly going to help you. So hold on 1 second, okay? All right. So with that said, by the way, and this is a good segue. A good segue. I had spoken recently with a gentleman by the name of Dr. Kerry Taylor. Well, there I am. But that's not, I'm not ready for that. There I go. Okay. We were going so good. So good. Sam got involved. Sam started pressing buttons again. All because I called him a doll earlier. That's what he said. You say, that's what you get when you call me a doll.
I got you a doll. Look.
So I recently spoke with Dr. Kerry Taylor, and he's a history professor at the Citadel. Now, you may know what the Citadel is. It's a private university down south, but they train people to go in the military, and it's a very Southern military, very Christian conservative, like people who would vote for Trump, you know, Citadel people. But they are putting together at the Citadel a program and an exhibit that tells the story in verbal form. People can come and listen to people's immigration stories and how they were able to immigrate to the United States. And I find it very interesting that it's being done at the Citadel, down south, in an area where that is generally anti-immigration.
Does Trump know about this?
What?
Trump know about
He's going to know about this right now. Let's watch this. So it may surprise you to know that South Carolina has the fastest growing Hispanic population in the United States of America, next to Arizona. We're going to be joined today by Marina Lopez. She has a master's degree in library and information science from the University of South Carolina, and she also counsels Spanish-speaking immigrants on their immigration issues here in the United States of America. We're also joined today by Dr. Kerry Taylor. He is a professor of history at the Citadel. After they met at an oral history workshop, they embarked on a documentation project that would span several years and culminate in this wonderful exhibit called Los VOCES del Lowcountry. Now, Ms. Lopez and Dr. Taylor join us today to discuss this incredible exhibit. Dr. Taylor, Ms. Lopez, Marina, how are you? Kerry and Marina, I think is easier, right?
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what you did, from my understanding, I'll let you discuss this a little bit. Is you wanted to document the immigrant experience. How did you do that?
Well, the project started because I was working with the Department of Mental Health as a family counselor, and one of the things that happened in my experience was that I was seeing the reality of the immigrants in my daily practice, and that was very different to the thing that I was listening on the media.
What was the reality you were seeing?
Well, we have all the reality that I saw. I was the families working, the families overcoming terrible problems. I was the strength of the families. I saw the incredible stories. I saw their interest on becoming part of our community. I saw the work ethic of most of the family that I was working with. And then in the radio, in the TV, in our newspapers, the narrative was totally different. It was that these were criminals, that these people don't belong here. So I was concerned about this difference, and I started thinking how we can tell a more balanced story.
These are people's narratives, recorded with digital audio, and they're part of the larger Citadel Oral History Program collection. From there, we developed an online exhibit, which is essentially the equivalent of a museum exhibit. And then out of that, there have been a number of offshoot projects, of which the latest iteration is this effort to involve Latino visual artists in South Carolina to interpret the stories.
How many interviews did you actually collect?
We had approximately 35, almost 40 interviews. So we have people that have been born in U.S., but that they are from Mexican origin. We have Puerto Ricans in our stories. We have people from Mexico, Central America, and we have a bunch of interviews from people from Argentina too.
Now you have 35, I guess, interviews there, plus artwork that's coming out from local artists. How long does each interview go?
It's a whole range. On the short end, an interview could be a half hour, but probably on the longer end, I'm not sure if there are any as part of this series, but you could have, more than one interview with the same interviewee. But,
yes.
But typically, I think we're talking about an hour to an hour and a half.
So you could literally come back every day and spend a month there and not listen to everything, I guess. Now, Kerry, you were born in the United States of America, I assume. Is that correct, or am I wrong?
No, that's correct,
Okay.
Chicago.
All right. So I never like to assume anymore anything. So now you're also a professor of history. Tell me, because it was very surprising to me, how did South Carolina become the second fastest growing Hispanic immigration population in the United States? If you asked me to put the five, I would have said California, obviously Arizona. I would have said Texas. I don't think South Carolina would have popped in my head. How did that happen?
That's right. I think because it's a more represents a more recent immigration destination is and it's Alabama and South Carolina. And I think this underscores the importance of the project, and this is why part of what I think drives us is that we understand that this is an emerging demographic, which with important cultural and political implications both for South Carolina and the region, but also for the whole country. And so that we wanted, part of what we're trying to do is to document these experiences while it's taking shape, while it's emerging. But what we're talking about is really, we have Charleston at the coast and then down to the Savannah River. That's probably, considered the South Carolina Lowcountry, although you can extend that north. But we're talking about the coastal region, the low-lying lands on the coast of South Carolina.
Tell me, what was the most intriguing thing that you found most intriguing or exciting to work on this project?
One of the things that I'd seen in coming from North Carolina, whereas I was a graduate student, is that there was it was my sense that there's a much more developed political community. And in the Lowcountry, in this part of South Carolina, I think that is emerging. We're seeing the roots of that. And the way I would describe that is that I'd say there are, individuals and groups who can come together around various crises. So it may be that somebody's, facing some kind of legal crisis and they need assistance, and there are some attorneys who are willing to help out. There's social workers. There are key resource people who are willing to help out Spanish-speaking immigrants. We can also mobilize around crises, like, for instance, when the state, proposes new draconian laws targeting Spanish-speaking immigrants, which they have over the last 10 years. I think people mobilize around these crises. But we've yet to see a Latino political organization emerge from this part of the state, and I think that's kind of a next step. And a big part of what intrigues me with the project is thinking about these political developments.
Sure, and then actually describing, hey, this is a big group here. Look at this big group that we have here.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, Marina, you were not born in the United States, right? Oh. Okay. So, where are you from? When did you come to the U.S.? And tell us your immigrant story.
I was born in Argentina, and I came to U.S. About 20 years ago. And I came because I am a good wife. My husband got a job. He's a researcher, and he got a job at MUSC, that is the medical university that is here in Charleston. So we moved together, and then I started working with the Latino community here, and we stayed. And this has been our house since then.
So Marina, let me ask you a question. We all hear, the rhetoric coming out of the White House and Trump and all that. What is the local population in Charleston? What's the rhetoric? Do you feel that they are, you have the second largest Latino immigrant population in the United States. Are they welcoming? Are they not welcoming? Obviously, there's probably a little bit of both, but what is the general rhetoric that you're hearing from both sides locally there in Charleston?
Well, I have seen a change of that. When I came here, the rhetoric was much more friendly with the immigrants, and there was a story about this, family, this idea that the immigrants are family oriented, that they have a very good work ethic, and then we see that changing to immigrants are criminals because they crossed the border and they knew it, what they did. So they are criminals and they have to go back. But then you have people like after President Trump was elected, a big part of the community, I think, that mobilized too, trying to protect the immigrant population. But there is a huge disconnection between the immigrant community and the Hispanic community and I would say the mainstream community. So even when many of our friends in the mainstream community want to help, they don't know really what is happening with the
And by the way, and I say this to everybody, it is not a crime to cross the border illegally. It's not a crime. It's a civil offense. There is no criminal, penal, unless the only time it's a crime is if you get deported and then try to re-enter, then that is a crime. But short of that, 99% of the people that the media is labeling or anti-immigrant activists are labeling as illegals are not illegals. They're undocumented workers. You both have American dreams. People who are born in America have American dreams. People who are born in another country have American dreams. What's your American dream? Have you reached it? What would you like to see in the next 10, 20 years? I'll leave it for both of you.
I'll try it first. I think that maybe my final thought here is that I think in a lot of ways, if we look at the demographics of this state, we could go, and really the demographics of the country. If we could go two ways, and I think this is the project is really tied up into my hopes for democracy. I don't think South Carolina will not have good schools. We won't have good roads. We won't have good governance unless this emerging majority of African Americans, Latinos, and whites who are sympathetic to African American Latinos are able to pull together a winning political coalition. Otherwise, I really see just more of the same. The harsh rhetoric coming from our state house in Columbia, austerity politics that are punishing children, punishing women, anyone who's considered to be not entitled to access to the American dream. So that's my hope, and this project is just a very small kind of cultural intervention into that larger political problem.
Well said, Marina.
I would say as a mother and as a person working in education, that my dream is related to families and keeping families together and helping families that are hard working to realize their dream. So we think about health issues, education issues, but we need to keep the families together. If the kids are scared about where their parents are going to be, if they are going to come back after work, they cannot learn. So we need to go to the very basics that the families that are working families can protect their own and can be together.
This is wonderful that you're bringing all these voices out and showing that people are human beings. Thank you both for coming, Dr. Kerry Taylor, Marina Lopez. Wonderful job. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right. Well, actually, I thought it was actually interesting. I didn't know there was so much immigration in South Carolina.
Right.
They're doing a valuable service to people to make sure that historically that these voices will always be heard and memorialized.
That's awesome.
Certainly we appreciate that. We have one more question each before we get to comment of the day.
Yeah.
Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, go.
All right. I have another one from Ann White. I'm reading all your questions. All right, girl, I got you. All right, she says her daughter had a green card. She's a British citizen and went back to England. She's pregnant and came back to give birth. But upon arrival, they found out that she overstayed her green card. So she had to relinquish her green card and was permitted on the visa waiver program. She's due to give birth in a week's time, but by the time she gets the baby's passport, she would have overstayed. She wanted to return, but she was already 34 weeks pregnant, and it's against the airline policy to fly at that time. So what can she do in her situation?
Let her come see me, and we can try to apply for something called an SB1 visa for her to return back to the UK and obtain an SB1 visa to re-enter the United States with her permanent residence.
And we've got a question from Chin Carter, who says, my husband filed an I-130 for my kids. Is it possible for my sister to get a visa to bring my kids to the U.S.?
No. Your sister will not get a visa to bring your children to the United States. That is not a possibility. It's reality.
So how would the kids come?
They get on a plane themselves.
By themselves?
Unaccompanied minor.
All right.
All right, so what do we got? Comments of the day.
Oh, man, we have several. First of all, it was unanimous.
Yes.
Everyone thought it was a serial killer taking feet.
I thought it was the bear.
I said the serial killer.
I said bear.
Serial killer
Okay, and then what was the other one? We had, was it Kim Jong-un's haircut or Donald Trump's haircut?
Definitely they preferred Kim Jong-un.
All right, so our two polls of the day, Kim Jong-un's haircut, and it's definitely a serial killer in Canada. Be very wary in British Columbia. Yeah. And now, comments of the day.
Oh, there are several. Our first is from Kerry Taylor, who said, I just shared to 15 groups, let's see if this works, and to see if the views will go up. Wow. And I read that with an attitude, because I know Kerry, and I feel like she probably said it with an attitude.
And did it work?
And next thing she said was,
It works.
Kim, it's working.
It's working. Way to go! It was working.
And then we have another comment of the day from the Spar Bernstein page, and it was from a brand new viewer, Jeff Lawson, who said, I've been watching for about a week. It's another Jeff.
A new Jeff.
A new Jeff.
A Jeff's guy has another Jeff and giving the Jeff a run for his money.
That's a fact.
Two Jeffs.
Jeff 1 and Jeff 2.
Yes, thing 1 and thing 2.
Reference.
We may.
Yes, reference. Right.
And he said, I don't know if it's the cast or the fact that I wanted to be a lawyer, but I love this show.
Hey.
Jeff 2?
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeff 2.
Jeff 2.
Jeff 2. It's definitely the cast. It's definitely the cast.
That's what it
That's
is.
right.
And then finally, we got some feedback from Groundhog Sam. He's done with all this berating. He said
he's over it.
He said, seriously, Brad, it's insulting.
To
which Pathrona Collins said,
yes.
Sam, pack your bags. I'm coming to get you. Poor groundhog.
Oh my God, the groundhog's getting more sympathy than the cast here now.
It's like he's the Melania.
Yeah, he's the Melania of the group. Right? He doesn't really talk a lot. He looks cute.
Right.
So they're like, all right, we feel bad for him. All right, we'll see you all tomorrow. Stay safe. It's bad weather's out there in the Northeast. I hear thunderstorm warnings and twister warnings throughout the Northeast. Please be safe out there. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same bat station, 5:30. See you then. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.